Hey there, sports history fans. We've got some exciting news to share with you. 6 of our podcasts from the Sports History Network have made it to the final round of voting for the prestigious Sports Podcast Awards. Here are their shows and the categories. Historically Speaking Sports and This Day in Sports History are both competing for Best Sports Talk Podcast. No Nonsense Old School Weightlifting History is in the running for Best Fitness, Health, and Wellbeing Podcast. When Football Was Football is up for Best Sports Documentary Podcast. Wrestling with Heels On has entered the ring for Best Wrestling Podcast. And Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing is fighting for the title for Best Combat Sports Podcast. Now, of course, we need your help to take home the championship for each of these awesome shows. All you gotta do is head over to sportshistorynetwork.com/vote. Cast your vote for your favorite shows, or better yet, all 6 of them. Again, every vote counts, and we got to show the world how much sports history really matters. So thank you for your support and making Sports History Network the headquarters for sports yesteryear. But again, don't wait. You got to go vote now. That's over at sportshistorynetwork.com/vote.
Hello, this is Ross Bliley from the podcast Pigskin Tales. This podcast is sponsored by Sterling Soap Company. With products sold throughout 41 locations around the globe, Sterling Soap Company has a unique assortment of products to choose from for your loved one for the holidays. Handmade artisan soaps created by Roderick and Amanda Lovin since 2012, these products are affordable and provide great value. Act now and save on your shipping costs. If you purchase $75 or more, your shipping cost is free in the United States. Shop now online at sterlingsoap.com.
And we'd like to welcome everybody back to the Football is Family podcast. And I'm sitting here on a Wednesday, ready for Sunday for so many reasons. These games Saturday and Sunday and Monday were something else. The game Monday, congratulations to the Ohio State University. You deserve the victory. Notre Dame, you did an amazing job too. The other teams, obviously, but Notre Dame wins the prize, gets the big cookie. They are the best in the nation right now. And, you deserve the pat on the back and the thumbs up. Good job. Good job, Ohio State. I did not have you picked at the beginning of the year. I did not. So that's fine. I don't mind being wrong. But congratulations. But the big thing for me, especially in this particular podcast, is talking about the NFL playoffs. My team, the Titans, were out of the playoffs pretty much by week 3 or 4. It wasn't going to happen. So I really don't have a dog in the hunt right now. Although at the beginning of Saturday, I had 2 teams that I wanted to see make it to the Super Bowl. I wanted to see Detroit, and I wanted to see Buffalo make it to the Super Bowl. And just say that last week's game, last Saturday and Sunday's game, were a little bit, I don't know, they were about 2 games that could have been really good, and the rest of the games were not that great. The Texans and the Chiefs game, I thought was pretty decent, but you knew quickly that the Chiefs' offense was sputtering, and their defense did great. Their defense did fine, but their offense sputtered to the point where you realize that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to do what they're going to do. They just know that. And I was reading stuff on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now, is that people were saying, go ahead and give the Chiefs a Super Bowl. That's what the NFL wants. That's what they want to see, a three-peat. And that's fine if it happens, but don't give up on the NFL just yet. There are at least 2 more games that have to happen before the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So that's one of them. The Commanders, this to me, if Jaden Daniels isn't the Rookie of the Year, that game cemented it. The Lions, to me, were the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl. But I remember when my Titans were number 1 overall ranking in the playoffs, and the Bengals came in there and just beat them. That's what happened with the Commanders and the Lions Saturday night. The Lions just dominated, or were dominated by the Commanders. They just were. It wasn't close. It was just a domination. And Jaden Daniels and the good gracious, that whole team, Dan Quinn, congratulations. You are going to the NFC Championship game this coming Sunday. Good job. The Eagles and the Rams, I thought, could have been a good game too, and it was. It was. It was a lot closer than the score. To me, the Eagles dominated that game. The Rams played fine, but the Eagles dominated that game in a lot of ways. And I think the game Sunday between the Eagles and the Commanders are going to be it's going to be one of those games where you're like, well, they know each other. They play two times a year every year. Um, to me, you could throw those expectations out the window of knowing them. This is for the Super Bowl. There's nothing left to, you're not going to work on your playoff ranking ratings. You're not going to work on your stats for the years. This is for the Super Bowl berth. Both teams are going to bring it. And to me, right now, in my personal opinion, I see the Commanders beating the Eagles if they can stop Saquon. But other than that, I think, to me, in my opinion, the Commanders are going to win. I would love to see that. Not that I have a problem with the Eagles. I just would love to see the Commanders do it. Now, the last game, Sunday night, is the game that I was looking forward to the most. And partly because, again, I did pick the Bills to make it to the Super Bowl, but also because of Derrick Henry. The Bills and the Ravens played to 27-25, and you saw what happened at the very end. It's hard to be mad at a person like it's kind of like you look at the wide right and stuff, people dropping passes in the end zone during the Super Bowl, and you look and say, well, if that person hadn't dropped that pass or that person hadn't done that, then the score would be different, maybe. But you also have to add in the fact that other players during the game caused problems or did something wrong or messed up that would have made that pass or that play or that kick unnecessary. So it's hard. You have one person make a mistake. We know Mark Andrews did that. We get that. But how many events or how many situations came up that if they had completed a pass or they hadn't ran for 1 yard instead of five or they hadn't had a penalty, that 2-point conversion would have been necessary? That being said, to me, I would love to see I wanted to see the Bills make it to the Super Bowl, but Derrick Henry is probably my favorite player right now. I wouldn't say probably, he is my favorite player, even though he's playing for the Ravens. But to see him go to the Super Bowl and win it would have not only cemented how I viewed about him, but other people would have as well. He's probably the best running back in the NFL for the past 6 or 7 years. The only one I think would be close would have been Saquon. Um, but even then, 10,000 yards rushing or more, the touchdown records, just the 2,000-yard rushing season, almost again this year. If they had tried it, he would have had another 2,000-yard rushing season. He is an amazing player who is still in his prime. I don't know how much longer he has, but this year people wondered if he was going to do anything, and look what he did. He made grown men look slow and weak. He's just a man among younger men. I wanted to see him do something, but I'm kind of glad in a way that the Bills win. And the reason why I believe that is I am ready for the rematch. I'm ready for the rematch. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Now, I want you to think this. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen have met, according to stathead.com, has met just a few times over the years. How about 8 times? 8 times in the playoffs in the regular season. Josh Allen is 4-1 against Mahomes in the regular season. He is 0-3 in the playoffs. It seems like every time Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes meet in the playoffs, Josh Allen comes up on the short end of the stick. I don't care who you are right now. If you don't have, if you have to beat the champion, you're going to be at a statistical and a kind of a motivational in the sense of having momentum. You're going to be at a momentum disadvantage, not a motivational. You're going to want that, but you're going to be at a statistical because they're the king. You have to knock them off, and a momentum because they're looking for a three-peat and you're looking to get in to the big dance. How in the world do you go against the Chiefs at this time? And I was looking at the rankings of their plays against each other, and it is very close very close in statistics, relatively speaking. But one of the things that I really think is kind of showing is the amount of Super Bowls, Pro Bowls, All Pros, MVPs that Patrick Mahomes has compared to Josh Allen. Again, according to StatHead, Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowl victories, 6 Pro Bowls, 3 All Pros, 2 MVPs, 1 Offensive Player of the Year, and 3 Super Bowl MVPs. Josh Allen has 3 Pro Bowls and 2 All Pros. Does that mean that Josh Allen is less of a player than Patrick Mahomes? Well, according to statistics, he is. I think that they're both great players. But Patrick Mahomes has something that Josh Allen doesn't, and that is just championship pedigree. Look at what he has accomplished over the years compared to the Bills and Josh Allen. Compared to what they have done, look at this. Winning in the regular season is one thing, and you got to win the regular season to make it to the playoffs. But 3-0 versus 0-3 in the playoffs, that means each time that they played, Josh Allen was knocked out of the playoffs by Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen was knocked out of the playoffs by Patrick Mahomes. They were knocked out Buffalo at times. This week they'll be in Kansas City. Do you think it's going to be easy for a team like the Bills to go into Kansas City and to beat the Chiefs? You're talking about the champion at home with Taylor Swift, which that's all it takes apparently. Do you think it's going to be easy for them? I'm still picking the Bills because of what I saw Sunday and of course or Saturday. It could be because they had a week off and they rested their players. They look very rusty, and it looked like the Texans defense at least knew how to slow down the offense. But in a lot of cases, that's not what's happening here. I do believe that Josh Allen can beat Patrick Mahomes. I do believe that's the case. Now, you and I can look at this, just enjoy the game. I believe that if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, they're going to win it. I believe that the Lions should have been in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. They should have been in the NFC Championship game. I think the Commanders would look good playing against the Bills. It's a rematch in the 90s, but also it's a chance for two teams that have struggled over the 30 years to make it to the playoffs or to make it to where it would be great to see them do that. The Eagles are also very good, but I think unless you're from Kansas City or like Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, which is fine, I think the vast majority of the people in this country want to see anybody but the Chiefs make it back to the Super Bowl. Now, here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes is going to be around for a long time. He might not make it to the Super Bowl this year, but boy, I'll tell you what, that guy is going to be in a lot of Super Bowls. I think he could literally beat Tom Brady's 7. I don't think it'd be a far-fetched to do that. The Chiefs have to continue with their winning ways. They obviously have to keep the salary cap justified and working. But how is it that you and I can doubt the Chiefs? I don't know. Maybe you're not that way. I don't doubt the Chiefs, but how can we look at anybody but the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl until somebody literally knocks them out? So what do you think? How do you think that this Sunday is going to work? Do you think that the Bills are going to pull an upset? Do you think that the Commanders are going to pull an upset? Do you think that the Eagles are going to win and going into the Chiefs and we'll have a matchup like that? I don't know. It's up to you. Up to you to decide. Let me know. Let me know. And I think that you and I can just have fun on Sunday. Just have fun. Enjoy some football, folks, and have a nice evening.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.